Yo, Rogue Company Season 2 is here. We've got a new battle pass, new Rogue Mack, some balance changes, a new map, and some other stuff, but let's talk about how each character ranks in a tier list. Alright, so because the game has been out for a bit now, I'm not going to go into nearly as much detail on this tier list, but if you want all that scrumptious detail, go check the prior tier list videos. If you like the content, here's a reminder that the like button and the sub button do exist, and pressing those oddly means a lot to us out here making the videos. We're breaking this tier list down a bit differently this time. S tier, seen all the time, most picked, may deserve slight nerfs. A tier, above average, seen more frequently and still good picks. B tier, definition of average. C tier, below average but can still be viable. The D tier, potentially deserving of a buff. There's been a load of changes since my last tier list, especially around time to kill, but I've considered those in this tier list, so let's start off with Anvil. Anvil. He's a defender type rogue, but you'll see him played often on attack and defense teams. With his barricade ability, he's used to protect the bomb planter during attack or defuse the bomb on defense. He's immune to blind and disorient effects because, you know, he's got that extra polarized visor over his eyes. Anvil's main weapon is the MLX Maw, which is maybe slightly above average and does pretty well in close to mid-range combat. And his core perks are Headstrong, Tenacity, and Helping Hands. Anvil is pretty solid. He's good for what he does. Can be played in Demolition and Strikeout quite effectively. We're gonna put him in A tier for that. Chaac. I actually really like Chaac's loadout, and his SMG, the D40C, actually got some nice buffs recently. If you're like me and like to run straight at people while screaming, then Chaac is your man. His shotgun is a lot of fun to use and has one-shot potential. The flashbangs help a lot, and be sure to use his ability to engage into a fight instead of to revive after getting knocked. People just shoot you once you're down anyway. You can roll a Chaac when you're down though, so try to roll as far as you can to get back to your team for a nice revive. For perks, grab Life Drain, Stalker, and Helping Hand if you're running the SMG. We're gonna put Chaac right smack dab in the middle at B tier. With the time to kill changes, this was actually an indirect nerf to Chaac's ability, and I don't think people will pick him up as frequently now. Dahlia. She saw a little fall off in Season 1 with several different nerfs affecting her, but in Season 2, Dahlia is looking good again. Her MXR will now be able to down in 3 shots of the body, and she still remains to be the most versatile rogue in the game due to her ability and passive. A lot of times, it's best to just get the Lifeline perk before anything else for the super quick revives. Similar but different to Saint, Dahlia has access to the Lifeline perk instead of Helping Hand. She also has access to Tenacity, which is getting a buff back to the effect it used to have. So, you know, it's going to be one of the best perks in the game again. Dahlia's SMG is average in my opinion, and with the buff to the MXR, I would never pick the objection over the MXR in Season 2, but you do what you want. Long story short, we're going to keep seeing Dahlia all the time. She's just one of the best rogues in the game. Dahlia is firmly planted up in S tier again. Oh, and with the release of Mack, have fun playing against Mack and Dahlia running at you with full armor and pistol rounds. As long as Dahlia hasn't been banned, of course. Dallas. Man, I don't want to do this to Dallas because I absolutely love hitting that 1-2 combo with his devotion, but I really just don't think Dallas brings a whole lot to the table right now. He's a lot of fun to play as and is a lot of people's first rogue that they main and try out because of his ability. I just think that there are other objectively better options out there if you're trying to increase your chances of winning. However, if you're a G-Fuel snorting coffee connoisseur and can hit those headies all day long, bruh, then you should probably be playing more Dallas. For perks, I'd recommend Headstrong, Stalker, and Bounce Back. Although he's fun, we're trying to judge all these rogues side by side, and I think in his current state, we drop Dallas down into the C tier. Dima. Dima's best thing going for him now is that he has access to the Mamba DMR. And I'll tell you what, if you don't really use the Mamba right now, you better start because it's absolutely nuts in Season 2. Dima has had some buffs in the past to his passive and also to him getting the resupply perk, but if I'm being honest with myself here, I still don't feel like Dima is super impactful. His Merv launcher has a lot of uses, but it still can just get sucked in by an active protection system, and then you're left with pretty much nothing special. For perks, I'd recommend Resupply, Bounce Back, and Berserker. I like Dima, I do, but I'm putting him down in the D tier. Why? Well, I think he still needs some more changes or slight buffs to his kit because I really feel like he's worth using these days. Fixer. All right, so this guy. He was banned for a while in some tournament play because the players felt he was broken and overpowered. Fixer has had a lot of changes and nerfs since his release, and in Season 2, his tier sniper rifle is being reduced to 1 bullet in the chamber instead of 2 before you have to reload. Yeah, it sounds bad, but the damage was increased and so was reload speed, so maybe we'll see people use it from time to time. I'd personally recommend just using that Deadeye DMR. Fixer's kit is still pretty bloated as he has the Worm Pistol, C4, and the Helping Hand, Bounce Back, Life Drain, and Headstrong perk, and is a hard counter to smoke grenades. Despite what others may say, I don't think Fixture's an S tier rogue anymore. I think he's A tier. Glitch. Well, the meme is dead, everyone. Glitch is actually pretty dang good in Season 2. The range of his hack was increased, and you can now keep the tablet out after hacking to continue getting intel on rogues and equipment within range. Glitch's hack destroys all equipment, including Anvil shield, trench barbed wire, and it now also forces enemy rogues to put away their abilities and gadgets. It's kinda nuts. With the LMPX SMG and the SKL6 shotgun, along with flash grenades, tenacity, headstrong, and tracker rounds, Glitch has finally hacked his way all the way up to the A tier. Kestrel. In her current state, Kestrel is probably just the best rogue of the game. She's S tier. Her Riptide assault rifle is top 2 or 3 weapons in the game, and now her Knight SMG is in the top 5 as well. Honestly, we might see Kestrel start running the Knight now because it'll only take 4 shots to the body to down someone. Her Halo drones are extremely strong. They've got a super long range, are easy to use, and deal a bunch of damage in quick succession. Active protection systems will also suck in 1 drone at a time, so it's a good thing there are so many. She also has the bounce grenade, which is still the best nade in the game, in my opinion. And for perks, you'll want to pick up Resupply, Stalker, and maybe Helping Hand, if you ever even need to pick up a teammate. If you're looking for a new rogue to unlock, go with Kestrel. Lancer. I think everyone has a love-hate relationship with Lancer. She's easily one of the most frustrating rogues to play against, but also is one of the most fun to play as. Her kit is pretty brain-dead simple. You buy the 24S SMG, you get Life Drain, and then you upgrade the 24S and run the Lancer roll train around the map. If there's any other perk you'll need, it's Shredder Rounds because you're just gonna need more ammo. She also has the Quick and Quiet ability, which grants her increased movement speed, quieter movement, and immunity to reveals for a duration or until firing your weapon. It lasts a while and can be used to flank the enemy, secure positioning on the map first, and negate reveals such as Dallas's ability. She's just stupid simple, everyone, and she's also stupid good. Enjoy the A tier, Lancer. I kind of hate you. Mack. The newest rogue to join the roster, Mack is an absolute beast. He's so much fun to play as, and I can't wait for all of you to try him out. He has the new Conviction LMG, the Objection SMG for primary weapons, and a frag grenade and active protection system for gadgets. Mack may have that great sword, but that thing feels weird to throw and honestly isn't super great, unfortunately. Same can be said about his light bomb ability. It just doesn't feel super impactful. Maybe it will be in demo on defense to stall an advancing push, but maybe not. What is great is Mack's passive and him having the resupply perk comboed with the active protection system. Every time Mack downs an enemy, he'll re-armor up to a max of 25, and with resupply, after you eliminate someone, you'll be able to place a ton of active protection systems. Say goodbye to grenade spam. This may not be super relevant in Strikeout or Demolition, but it is kind of OP in King of the Hill. Mack is fun, he is good, and he is a raging Scottish bald Hulk with a beard, which means he is legally required to be an A tier. Phantom. Man, I've played against some insane Phantoms, and they're very annoying because you can't ever peek them without getting insta-downed by her sniper rifle. She also now has the Nightshade, which gives her more viability, but the Nightshade just doesn't feel quite as good as the other weapons now with the changes to time to kill. Her nano smoke ability is, you know, it exists and is decent for blocking off lines of sight, but it really doesn't feel super useful. Her passive is actually surprisingly good, but often overlooked. It delays health regeneration by a couple seconds on any enemy that you damage. For perks, you'll want to pick up Stalker if you're running the sniper rifle to jiggle peek in and out of cover faster while scoped, but if you're running that Nightshade, I'd recommend picking up tracker rounds and then Helping Hand or Life Drain. Although some people crack heads with Phantom, and you'll think they're cheating, I really don't think Phantom is amazing, and I'm putting her down in C tier. Ronin. So Ronin's ability, the Ballistic Knife, now deals 125 damage in Season 2, which means it downs any rogue that doesn't have tenacity. It's actually a pretty big buff, and if you didn't know, throw that Ballistic Knife next to someone in cover and then shoot it. It's how you'll want to use this ability 90% of the time. Her passive is called Underground, and it's cool and all, but it really only currently counters Talon's dart, which is only one of the 19 rogues currently available. Abilities aside, she has access to the KA-30 and the SLC. Both of these weapons are great in Season 2, and you'll want to decide which weapon you prefer using. For perks, you'll want to pick up tracker rounds and tenacity. Ronin is solid all around, and she's staying up there in the A tier. Saint. Once again, Saint has had a lot of changes since we last ranked him in our tier list. He's mostly been buffed, but I still don't feel like having a Saint on your team is super impactful. Sure, Saint has his revive drone that pairs up well with his passive, but almost everyone knows to shoot the drone now instead of killing the down person. This means that Saint doesn't get his ability refunded, which kind of feels like you never actually get to use your revive drone. If you do play as Saint, make sure you pick up the Helping Hand perk, because with it, revive time decreases from 5 seconds down to 3 seconds. Saint's other good perks are Bounce Back, Headstrong, and Tracker rounds. Be sure to combine those tracker rounds with smoke grenades when possible to reveal enemies moving behind or through the smoke. In every scenario, I would prefer a Dahlia over a Saint on my team, and I'd always prefer to play as Dahlia instead of Saint. Like I said previously with Dima, Saint does have the Mamba though, and that thing is going to be a bit of a beast in Season 2. Saint mains, I love ya, but your revive drone is just too easy to destroy for putting Saint down in C tier. Seeker. All right, let's just go through Seeker real quick. Full team reveal that also deals damage. Check. Best grenade in the game combined with his passive. Check. Very strong primary weapon. Check. Some of the best perks. Check. Seeker's arrow can reveal an entire team, and the reveal radius around the arrow is very large, so it's quite forgiving if you just kind of launch it off in a direction hoping to reveal people. His grenade combined with his ricochet passive is also completely nuts. Your bounce grenade will down anyone, dealing 200 damage at max upgrade. The Sahara assault rifle just got buffed too with Season 2 and all the time to kill changes, and will now down someone without armor in 4 shots. He also has Lifeline, Life Drain, Stalker, Bounce Back, and Berserker for perks. He's just too good right now and definitely needs some kind of a nerf. This Olympian archer is chilling up in S tier. Scorch. I actually asked the lead developer Scott Gandhi at one point in time which rogue had the highest win rate. The answer was Scorch. Therefore, if you want to win more games, just, simply play Scorch. So basically with Scorch, she's immune to flames, but she won't start healing again until she's out of the fire. She has access to tenacity and headstrong, which actually make her quite tanky and good for bomb planting. She can also dish out a ton of damage with her SLC and overheat ability. The Arbitrator, her shotgun, was nerfed enough now that I don't think you'll see it very often, so there's not much of a reason to pick up the Replenish perk anymore. Despite all these positives for Scorch, I just can't bring myself to bring her to the A tier with all the other rogues there. I think she's with the other average rogues in Season 2, right in the middle at the B tier. Sigrid. Sigrid has slowly gotten buffed with time, and this is happening even more with Season 2. Her D40C SMG just got buffed, and now her ballistic shield will be immune to melee damage. She honestly doesn't even really need to purchase a primary weapon for the first couple rounds because her warrant pistol is so strong with the shield. For perks, I'd recommend Tenacity and Lifeline. Sigrid is definitely difficult to deal with when you're up against her, and she'll be even harder to kill now with the buffs to her shield. Until now, Sigrid has just kind of felt off, like something was missing from her kit, but now she's feeling pretty solid, so we're putting her at the B tier. Talon. So Talon is a dart throwing simulator. Sometimes he can double as a katana throwing simulator, but with the nerfs to throwing melees, I don't think you'll be doing that as much anymore. The radar dart will pick up any enemy on the minimap within range except Ronin. It's a really good ability, so make sure you place that dart in a location you can retrieve it from, but also the enemies can't shoot at. Both of Talon's weapons, the LMPX and Deadeye, are pretty good, so pick whichever one fits your playstyle more. For perks, I'd recommend Tenacity, Tracker rounds, and Life Drain. With time, people have really learned how to play around Talon though, so we're gonna keep him in B tier. However, in game modes with a central bomb, Talon is definitely S tier because of his mag gloves. Trench. Trench has been changed a lot over time, and with Season 2, he's being changed even more. His barbed wires are a bit larger, and he now has trip mines instead of tear gas grenades. With the changes of time to kill, for primary weapons, I'd recommend the MXR over the HRM because 3-tapping to the body is very fast now. Trench is solid for defense, but he does still feel quite average. He has a high skill ceiling with placing and managing all your active protection systems and barbed wire, but I wouldn't really recommend Trench to anyone new to the game. I actually like all of Trench's perks except for Toughen Up, but I'd prioritize Headstrong, Tracker rounds, and Helping Hand or Bounce Back before the others. Trench is borderline A tier in good hands, but I think for the majority of players, Trench is actually B tier. Vi. Last time we placed Vi in S tier, but I think some of the changes to time to kill will bring Vi down a bit. She's a well-rounded, strong rogue and is good for any game mode. She can be used on attack with her poison pools to flush out areas or on defense to stall an advance or delay a bomb fuse. Her Nightshade AR is pretty average, and I wouldn't recommend using her shotgun unless you're doing it for the culture. For perks, I recommend Tenacity, Tracker rounds, and Helping Hand. Vi is definitely an A tier rogue. She's strong in every game mode and is also a lot of fun to play, especially with those poison pools all over the place, and her incendiary grenade also dealing damage over time. For new players and veterans of the game, I hope you found this tier list helpful or interesting. Be sure to let me know down in the comments how you change things around. Here's a reminder to like the video and subscribe if you enjoy these types of videos, and if you'd like to find some people to play with in Season 2, we have a Discord server with over 3,000 members. I also have a second channel that I upload more Rogue Company gameplay to, so if you're interested in any of that stuff, I'll put the links in the description down below. Hey, have a good one, and enjoy Season 2 of Rogue Company. I'll see you later.